Here they are, Luke Yates, Julia Bennett, the coaches of the 8-time national champion CWI Speech and Debate team. You guys, congratulations. This is amazing. And Luke, you were telling me quite a different experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a wild tournament. Absolutely. I mean, competing under quarantine is, I mean, you can't expect anything. There's no previous experience you can lean on. There's nothing that I can call back from an experience I had when I was competing that's like, this is the same. It's not. Everyone's remote. Competition is so bizarre. Debating and I don't know, being convincing via Zoom or any of the different apps that we used is an obstacle to overcome. So the fact that they were able to do it so beautifully is just nothing but impressive.
Julia, how were they able to do that? Because Luke, this is a very, very good point. It's difficult under the best of circumstances, and these most assuredly were not that.
Right. Dan, I would say it was a couple of things. One, it was determination on the part of the students. I would say too, Luke put a really good field plan in place. And we have a fantastic volunteer team of alums who dedicate their time every Friday to come and help us coach events. And so those students had a lot of direct hands-on coaching. And then of course we had several competitions before this that were all virtual. So they were pretty steady and ready. But it's nationals and it's another extra day, and it's kind of a long endurance haul. And so that to me was the hallmark of their success as competitors, is that they had their, Luke likes to call it as a war face, but their game face on all day. And they brought their A game, and it showed.
It's interesting to hear that in addition to being great at speeches, you guys have to be great at coaching in order to be national champs. Luke, Julia was saying, because of some of your strategies, it made the difference. What were the strategies that you employed?
I don't know that there's like one cohesive game plan that I mapped out at the beginning that was every single step, but I know that there's key moments that you need to be ready by, and so we set clear goals to make sure that we're prepared. And a lot of it is the mental approach to the game. It's easy to sort of ride the coattails. You know, this is our 8th national title. We had 7 before this, and it's easy to walk into it thinking, well, we have a proven record of success. We can just carry it through, but that is never, ever, ever the case. Anybody that has won a national title in anything ever can tell you that they are always a fight, especially if you have to come back and defend it. It will always be a fight. There will always be somebody out there who's ready to take you over. And so making sure that the team understands that this isn't just a handout, that you have to be prepared, that you have to understand that nationally, there are some fantastic teams out there. Locally, there are some fantastic teams. And as they see that and incorporate those, I don't know, those new ideas, it changes their mentality. They understand, they become hungrier for it, I would hope.
I think so too. The other thing about getting to the #1 position in the country means you have to have a deep bench, Julia. Tell me about some of the standouts you noticed.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's add to the fact that this is a 2-year college. So students come in oftentimes without any speech and debate experience, except perhaps a class where they've been recruited with Luke or Johnny or yourself or Jim or our chair. And so we have students who haven't had a lot of field experience, but B, we get them for 2, maybe 3 years at the most, Dan. And so I think that speaks to their quality and their discipline. And I always have believed like attracts like, that if you have a really great environment, you're going to attract like-minded people. And that is certainly true for this team. I can't speak highly enough of them. They're fantastic.
That is really, really good. Yeah, Luke.
Yeah, the bench is deep. We have a lot of heavy hitters on the squad. I mean, every single person showed up. I cannot emphasize. Right. There's a lot of different ways to judge success when you travel to tournaments. There's, of course, the individual success, the trophies, of which our squad won quite a few. But it has always been important that the team understand that we win and lose as a squad. And as the team approaches, the most important one is the team trophy at the end. And knowing that approach, I think sort of shifts the balance away from an individualistic idea and more towards building something cohesive. And when they approach it that way, yeah, everyone is the pinch hitter.
You personally, though, have experienced this from that perspective as well, as a competitor, and now as a coach. What's the difference in a national championship from those perspectives, Luke?
Oh, it's a lot more helpless feeling when you're the coach, I guess. Because I was on the CWI team, I was recruited by the coaches then, and then I went to the Boise State team, and yeah, we had a lot of success, and I had a lot of national success. But when I was competing, it was different because I knew I could actively control the results. Once the tournament starts, of course, I judge rounds, and I can pep talk and make sure that people have what they need, and just be the support system. But when it comes to the actual rounds, what's going to happen is going to happen, and I have to sort of cede that trust to the competitors, which is newer for me. But wow, I mean, they really showed that they deserve my trust.
Yeah.
I don't think Julia. Oh, yeah, please.
I was going to add something, Dan. This year, you talked about bench. This year, the right people showed up. I mean, it's an amazing team. They're always amazing in their own way, but these are high performers, just incredibly high performers, just great critical thinkers, really driven to succeed, doing the work. We had one pair that did what's called public forum, where you have to investigate a concept or an idea deeply, and it was Milton Friedman's economic theory. And the young man, Mustafa, who was on as the pair, he became this walking encyclopedia of Milton Friedman's theories, and they do this on their own. So we had an exceptional group of people who were incredibly self-motivated and really had the chops to do it. It was just so fun to watch them blossom into this.
And a lot of work on both of your parts. Julia, Luke won't tell me, but would you please tell me, what does he bring to this team?
Oh my gosh, so much, my goodness. Well, I would say the biggest, there's so many pieces to this puzzle, but one is a fierce heart, right? An incredibly fierce heart for what's right and good with people. And so he has the back of every single student, and they know it. The second is he's got an immense knowledge. He's got his own encyclopedic knowledge of debate and events, not only from his experience, but because he had great teachers, right? Not only here at CWI, but at BSU, we stand on the shoulders of the people who've taught us. And then finally, he's a fun, good, funny, smart person to work with, right? I can't tell you how much fun it is to be his partner in this. So just so many things.
And what's crazy is you guys this is your first season together. Holy mackerel. Well, Luke, your turn. Tell me what Julia brings.
It's our second season. It's our first.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
The first one got canceled because of COVID. It was right when everything got canceled. It was right before the hard lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And so we lost our opportunity. And so this was our first chance to actually swing for it. Mm-hmm. But it was an odd process, right? Like the people that we taught last year and built for nationals ended up turning around and becoming a bunch of the coaches we used. So it was a very cool program. Julia is a special person to me. Julia does not come from speech and debate. Julia comes from theater, which is an area in the world that I don't know very much about. I mean, I can critique movies, but everyone critiques movies. There's a deeper understanding that Julia brings to the emotional side of events. We perform a lot of what we call interpretive events, which are borrowed from pieces of prose or spoken written word, and those pieces require more than just a worldly approach. They require an emotional intelligence that Julia carries. She's also got, since we're going to carry on the term, an encyclopedic knowledge of the world that we can pull from to create these materials. It was easy for me after a couple tournaments to be like, Julia knows what she's doing here. She said it frequently. There's a lot of overlap in between how theater approaches certain things and how some of the interpretive events can be approached. Yeah. And I wouldn't have had any other partner on this journey.
You guys are amazing. Luke, you mentioned emotions. I've seen how hard you have worked over the years now, and how much of yourselves you put into this. I hope you really have found that it is worthwhile. Julia, as I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're exhausted, but as you go to sleep tonight and as you think about this, what's the overriding emotion?
Oh my goodness. Oh, just gratitude, I think, on so many levels. One, to be surrounded by such wonderful people, that are curious about the world and quirky and and all just bring their own special sauce. So there's that, but grateful to have a really wonderful partner. Luke has taught me so much about the field, you know, and especially about debate, which I knew like this much about. Now I know this much about, but just he's a great teacher, frankly. And then just blessed to be a part of the CWI community and our department and have such immense support from the people, our colleagues. So gratitude, I think, would be my word.
Beautiful. Luke, I want to give you the same opportunity. What are you carrying away with you now?
I don't know. I always feel humble after a tournament. I always feel humble because I look at what they did and it just impresses me. Every single one of them impresses me to my core. And then I turn around and, you know, after a national tournament, all the squads in the Northwest, well, a lot of the squads in the Northwest were there, especially ones that we have very good relationships with, and especially the ones that I have coaches that I look up to myself. And when they reach out and compliment the team that we bring, it just kind of piles onto that humility that I feel. It's an honor. It's a mantle that I carry proudly, being the current steward of this team. And I just want to make sure that what I build and foster, what we build and foster can grow and enhance people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think as long as you guys hang around and keep coaching, we will. Luke Yates, Julia Bennett, I am so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. You know, our entire department is behind you. We love you, and thanks a lot for your time. Now go celebrate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Go back to bed.
Yeah.